Hello and welcome to this new video of House of Dragon. Are happy weddings a myth in Westeros? Well, it certainly seems so after the 5th episode of House of the Dragon, given that we witness another royal wedding in Westeros after the tragic Red Wedding of Game of Thrones. And it may not be as gory, but there's still enough death and doom happening all over again. As seen in the previous episode of the show, Rhaenyra Targaryen, who has been declared the heir to the Iron Throne after King Viserys I agrees to forge a match with Lenore Velaryon to strengthen House Targaryen as well as her position as the successor. Velaryon being one of the strongest families in Westeros, it's a match of ample political gain for King Viserys, and hence to make sure that it goes ahead smoothly, the king himself travels to Driftwood to have a word with Lord Corlys and Princess Rhaenys. With his health in complete disarray due to seasickness, a rather weak King Viserys arrives at Driftwood to forge the big alliance between the two houses and does manage to successfully do so. Elsewhere, we see Rhaenyra and Lenore Velaryon enjoying some personal time together as they reflect on what their marriage stands for. They agree for it to be an act of duty but decide to set their own rules when it comes to matters of love. Following Rhaenyra and Sir Criston Cole's dalliance that was previewed in the last episode, it seems the latter gets rather smitten by the future queen of Westeros. Cole makes a rather surprising offer to Rhaenyra after she has agreed to marry Lenore. It's a moment in which Frankel truly shines given how amazingly he conveys the naivety of his character. Love can cloud one's judgment like no other, and in this case, it seems Sir Criston has completely forgotten that Rhaenyra is a true Targaryen, who won't let a momentary dalliance play with her future. At the Red Keep, Sir Otto Hightower, who has been fired from his position as the Hand of the King, warns his daughter, Queen Alicent, that her future may not be as secure once King Viserys departs and Rhaenyra takes over the throne. Conflicted over whether to trust her friend, Rhaenyra's words over the situation that got her father removed as the king's hand, Alicent has some bitter truths to learn. Westeros' royal wedding festivities begin with a celebratory bash where King Viserys I's ill health remains evident. In the meantime, Prince Daemon Targaryen, Matt Smith, who appears briefly in the new episode, dangerously removes one of the biggest thorns in his journey, his wife Rhea Royce, the Lady of Runestone, in a rather shocking move. A widowed Daemon then attends his niece's wedding party with unknown motives. No wedding bash in Westeros seems to come without some bloodshed, and there's a rather shocking twist that leads Sir Criston Cole with blood on his hands. Following the aftermath of a rather gory incident at the bash, Rhaenyra and Lenore are wed in an intimate ceremony, though King Viserys' health seems to further deteriorate during the same. The 5th episode of the show is a major turning point for all its characters. From King Viserys' survival to Sir Criston Cole's future and Alicent's freshly gained perspective on things, there are some big changes in the dynamics of the core characters that are expected in the next episode. While Rhaenyra and Daemon's incestuous relationship was teased in the previous episode, the 5th episode also showcases the duo getting caught in a moment where they provoke each other, and post Rhaenyra's wedding, it's going to be interesting to see how it builds further. As for the performances of the new episode, Fabian Frankel does a fabulous job of bringing out Sir Criston Cole's two sides. It's a character that will induce pity, and Frankel does a fine job of bringing out Cole's emotions. Even though Emily Carey doesn't have many scenes in the new episode, the change in her walk as she makes her way to Rhaenyra's pre-wedding bash, dressed in green, a color declaring war for the Hightowers, is a noteworthy one. Matt Smith continues to impress with his cold and unpredictable portrayal of Daemon Targaryen to the very best. House of the Dragon has now reached halfway through its first season, and so far, the show has been successful in taking us back to Westeros after Game of Thrones' wild journey. Even as the first half of the 5th episode takes off slowly, it's a build-up for a finale that goes unexpectedly dark. The makers of House of the Dragon are sticking to the classic got roots for the most part, while also surprising us, and that's probably what has been enjoyable so far for the show. And that was a video, guys. Do tell us about your opinion on this episode of House of Dragon.